So even if it costs more, Canadians are willing to pay for homegrown goods. This is coming from a new report put out by the Agri-Food Analytics Lab at Dalhousie. For more on that, we're joined by Sylvain Charlebois, who is part of that report, and he joins us now. Sylvain, thanks for joining us today. It's an interesting look you took because you kind of separated out generations and provinces in this as well. First off, how much more are Canadians willing to pay for homegrown goods to sort of avoid the American products?
Surprisingly many. We have seen several surveys over the last few weeks telling us that Canadians are buying Canadian. They want to buy Canadian, but we wanted to also challenge Canadians in terms of pricing. If Canadian products are more expensive, are you still willing to buy them? 61% of Canadians are still willing to buy Canadian products, even though they're more expensive. Now, it is a survey, but we've been doing this for 25 years. That's probably the highest percentage we've ever seen so far. So it's pretty dramatic.
And how much more are they willing to pay? Did you look at that?
It's about, the threshold is 10 to 15%. So a reasonable difference. But sometimes on the market, you can actually see deltas of over 50%. So we went with 10 to 15 because that's basically what you should expect at the grocery store.
Okay, I know you also separated this out by generations. Tell me how you looked at that, if you looked at a number of different generations or you only picked one or two, and what the results were.
Yeah, so we looked at gender, education, and generations, but the generation aspect was actually quite significant. In fact, we noticed that boomers are the ones that really are looking to buy Canadian over American products for sure. And it makes some sense because that group obviously earns more money than Gen Zs, for example, who are just starting their career. So it's quite normal to see that. But also, we also believe, based on our data, that this particular group has been largely impacted emotionally by the threats coming from the White House with the annexation and things like that. So it really pushed to people to actually act and behave differently at the grocery store.
So the boomers were more affected emotionally.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's pretty clear in the data. There's a big difference between boomers and everyone else.
Interesting. Okay, you did a regional look provincially. How did things turn out there?
Well, actually, a couple of provinces do stand out. I would say that Quebec is one of them, but Quebec is typically very locally focused, much more so than Alberta province, regardless of what's going on with trades. But I would say that generally speaking, I would say BC kind of stood out this time, seeing many people looking for local products. Every other provinces, things are pretty averaged out. Okay,
so we know some of the tariffs were announced in March for the Canada-U.S. trade relationship. Some have come this week. Have there been disruptions in flow of agricultural goods from the U.S.? And I'm just wondering if there are, or if Canadians see that coming, what are their options? What are they saying they will do?
Well, so first of all, you're seeing a supply chain pivoting, looking for new options. Most grocers in Canada, if not all grocers, are rearranging their supply chains. They're basically de-Americanizing their stores, so they have to kind of look elsewhere to procure food, whether it's in Mexico. We're seeing more products from Egypt, Peru, Turkey, South Africa, across the country. It's much more multinational than it used to be, at least in March anyways, which typically would be dominated by American products. It wasn't this year at all. And so all of that is happening, of course, which disrupts supply chain. You're seeing many companies dealing with suppliers for the first time. So there's no loyalty yet. But as we progress, my guess is that grocers will start getting better deals as they negotiate with new suppliers.
And are Canadians okay with turning to these food products from other countries? Is that clear yet, or are they kind of holding off on buying certain things that normally they would buy from the U.S.? Do we know?
Well, obviously we're importing more from abroad because grocers know that Canadians, not all Canadians can actually buy the most expensive products. Some of them, many Canadians are actually really tight for cash, and so they have to bring in some options. The challenge here is that if you eliminate America as an option, you will likely have to pay more to get grapes from, say, South Africa, obviously, or getting lettuce from Spain. It will cost you more. So we're seeing many prices being adjusted as we go through the spring and probably going into the summer as well.
Very quickly, because I'm running out of time, I know you looked at how American foods are perceived in Canada. Can you give me that in 20 seconds or less?
Yeah, absolutely. We're surprised to see that almost half of Canadians see Canadian products as superior from a quality perspective and a safety perspective. That number we've never seen before.
All right. Sylvain Charlebois, sir, thanks for joining us. Appreciate your time on the close.
Take care. Bye-bye.